It's 7:32 on Friday the 18th. That's this morning if you're watching it today on Friday the 18th of March. And I'm just doing this video because the video I wanted to do I can't make at all because of a little issue. But I'll just tell you what I've been up to and show you this gadget. This is a magnetic anti-gravity thing. Well, the idea is basically you have a very strong neodymium magnet, I want to say, and it gets repelled by this gadget and it floats, and if you push down on it, it pushes back harder or keeps it aligned, and it's kind of groovy because it's sort of hovering like an anti gravity device, maglev train, that kind of thing. And I waited months for this kit to arrive because I ordered it very slow post last year, and as the video that may or may not be released about this will attest, I waited a long time and regretted that decision, not getting it drop shipped quicker. So through much woes, because it came with very scant instructions, I made it wrong. I assembled it in the video, I assembled it incorrectly and it blew up. So then I thought, okay, I'll order more parts. So I've got more bits and pieces. You can see there's ICs there, MOSFETs, resistors, pin headers, all sorts, just to try to get it going again after I clearly destroyed it. And you can see these little wispy wires hanging off it. There, of course, are wires for the oscilloscope because I had to debug this thing. And lots of lumps and bumps where I've removed components and moved them around and tested them out. So I almost got to the point here where it seems to be working, and again it relies on Hall sensors, which are right in there. You see these little Hall sensors, and there's no instructions on how to set those, and those calibrations obviously are critical in something like this. So I went as best as I could guess, and yeah, it doesn't work. Still doesn't work quite right. You know, magic smoke comes out sometimes, and pulling my hair out. So on top of this, I've been doing a lot of back office style work for work, and my bench is getting full and everything's getting very busy and stressful. So having something like this not work really starts winding you up. I mean, I think it was 20 quid, but it would have been a good 20 quid, you know what I mean, if it worked. And anyway, I thought as I have gone through it a little bit now and I'm getting a better understanding of how it works, though, it would be fun to sort of cover that, because I definitely am not covering that in any video I make about it, because I can't be bothered. As soon as it works, great, video's going to go out, show wobbling, I'm done. I'm throwing this away. But if it doesn't work, then you'll never see that video. So this is the only time we'll discuss it. It'll be discussed now. And how it works is you have these 4 magnets which are located here. And if I hover over there with a regular, these are just bigger magnets really, it's just 2 of them. You'll feel that if you've got it in the middle, it's kind of hovering, it's balanced, between those 4. But then if you go one way or another, it'll snap to those magnets on the surface. You can see the whole thing moving around actually. You know, if you don't hold it, you'll feel that. And there you go, there's a sweet spot. So you can imagine as it starts to slide, if you had a way of controlling this, you could pull it back into the middle. And that's basically what you've got here. It's a bit like a weird little motor or something. You've got 4 coils, and they're wired in such a way that it's a H-bridge configuration, which means the polarity of them can be changed. So if it's going too far one way, it can turn on the coils in such a way that it will pull it the other direction. And then if it detects it's going too far the other way, it'll put the coils in a different polarity and pull it back. So the idea is that it keeps this in check by constantly pulling them just to keep it centralized, which is cool. It's analog, so it's not that it's doing it millions of times a second. It's constantly doing it. It's not like a digital thing where it's doing it like as I say, 100 times a second. It's just always changing the value of these fields to do that. And you can see there are a bunch of Hall sensors in there, and I'm going to tilt it slightly. So you've got this main Hall sensor here, which, as far as I can tell, that really just detects the presence of a magnet. So the idea of that is it turns on and off this whole circuit through this big MOSFET on the back there, and that'll energize, because this thing can use up like amps. Yeah, and it doesn't want to sit there, because these things get hot and smoke comes out, and I can tell you because I've seen all of these things get hot and all of them have smoke come out. And then you've got another 2 Hall sensors, which you can see there, a little one like that, and those effectively are like an X and Y Hall sensor, so they're detecting the presence of this. So if you have it hooked up to the scope on those Hall sensors, you can see it's a bit like a joystick. As I move this magnet in these directions, I can see the values going up and down, analog values on those Hall sensors. That is pretty cool in itself, because it gives you all sorts of ideas of how you could make a joystick in the future. So maybe we could work on that. A totally analog joystick, and at the bottom of the stick is basically a magnet that's moving around. And that would actually, gosh, maybe if this doesn't do anything, that's at least what we could do out of this board, because we can just pop this top board off, remove all these magnets and things that are annoying us, and turn it into something else. So maybe there's life in it yet. And then for that, you've got these various op amps that they've got here, and these transistors. So the transistors, if you see here, you've got PNP and NPN. Like that, and effectively they do function as some sort of H-bridge type thing. I've not really gone through the circuit, but you can see that's one of the coils, and they're on 2 different sides of the op-amp, and it's all eventually adjusted and balanced by these 2 little resistors. Again, nothing about that. As far as I can tell, when you've put this kit together properly and it's just it should just kind of work. So the fact that mine isn't kind of working means that there could still be something damaged here. But the idea is, yeah, the magnet's on there, and you'll find if it's not quite doing something right, you can tune these up, and these will adjust effectively, as far as I can tell, the sensitivity or the power. I think probably more the sensitivity of those coils and how hard they're going to pull that back. And that's almost pretty much it. I mean, there is a ring of LEDs on the top, which is quite nice. You can, well, I can actually, let's show you. Why don't we plug it in? Let's see what happens. I can't remember what state this was in, but I'll put the LEDs in. I'll put the power supply on. I'll turn it all on here. Ooh, look at that. So it's using 100 milliamps now, as it stands. And then as I get the magnet, whoa! It went to about half an amp before it jumped, so I'm just going to hold that down. And I can feel it. I can feel the coils are energizing, because I can feel like a little tick. But as I feel the tick, it's almost ticking in the wrong way. So maybe the Hall, I mean, might get new Hall sensors. Maybe they're just mounted wrong and they're just coming on at the wrong time or in the wrong way. Either way, it's amazingly frustrating. But you can almost feel when you hold it there, that's where it would be balanced, and if I wasn't holding it, it would jump right away. But sometimes it's like, I can see it's using half an amp, but if I turn off the power supply, it does do something. Whoa, and that was turning it on. It just pulled it out of my bloody hand. So maybe just it's a wrong one. That's all I could say, because look, again, I'm holding it pretty balanced. It's all powered off. As soon as I turn it on, let's see what happens. Yeah? That's not supposed to happen, isn't it? That's almost the worst thing that could happen. It's the reverse. And then I thought, maybe I've got the magnet the wrong way, so maybe the magnet should be it's being repelled by these 4 and trying to jump towards those coils. Let's see that if it's the reverse. Nah. Well, hang on, unless, no. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't know. I mean, if you've got one of these and used one of these, yeah, you can let me know how it's supposed to be, and I can put it aside and put aside your Patreon bucks instead of wasting it on stuff like this that definitely is a bigger waste of all of our time right now. But I would have liked to get this working, because just to finalise the project, what I would have done is mount it inside a box. By the way, be very careful. This one didn't come with instructions, so you'll find lots of pictures of similar looking devices with the board mounted that way. That's what I did, by the way. I mounted the boards incorrectly, and that just blew out all sorts of stuff because I had the headers on the wrong side. But what I would have liked to do on this would have been to make a really nice 3D printed enclosure, which I thought would have been cool. It's like a little circle, maybe a fan if it needs it, or just some sort of ventilation. And on the magnet, I was going to 3D print something like a little, I don't know, Millennium Falcon or Star Trek Enterprise. and just have it like a desk thing. You know, it's just floating away, and you can maybe hit it and it might spin around and float about. I think that would have been a cute curio to have on your desk. A little floating Enterprise, or maybe even my beloved Atari ST, like a little floating Atari ST. Judging from the size of these magnets and the weight, it could probably support something quite reasonable. So that would have been really cute, wouldn't it? The floating ethereal ST. But there you go. That's what I'm going to do. So this is the video you're watching today. Sorry, everybody, it's not the one we expected. I mean, but we do cover a lot in the Discord of other stuff. So just jump into the Discord if you want to keep abreast of all of the other projects I start and get nowhere with. I did have a interesting thing I opened up the other day. I'm going to put a video on that instead, and that might come out later today or tomorrow or something like that. So stay tuned. That's all I can say. So yeah, so this is the whatever that is. I can't read it. Have a great weekend, everybody, and thank you for watching.